New swindler stories uploaded every week exposing the darkest secrets behind love scams, relationship fraud, and emotional crime. If you are fascinated by true crime scam investigations, psychological crime stories, romance fraud cases, and real swindler documentaries, Heart Swindlers channel is your destination. Subscribe and step into the world where love becomes a weapon and trust becomes the biggest risk. Welcome to Heart Swindlers, where charm meets deception and love turns into manipulation. On this channel, you will find true swindler stories, real romance scam case breakdowns, psychological analysis of fraudsters and con artists, online dating scam awareness, emotional manipulation and deception tactics. Lessons to help viewers recognize and avoid swindlers. Heart Swindlers dives deep into the shocking world of romance scams, love fraud, emotional manipulation, and relationship cons. On this channel, you will discover real and chilling swindler stories, exposing how professional scammers use psychology, trust, and affection to deceive their victims. We break down the criminal mindset behind romance swindlers, online dating scams, financial fraud, and relationship deception. Each story reveals the hidden tactics used by con artists, love scammers, catfish criminals, and relationship. We dive deep into the criminal mindset behind romance scammers, love fraud schemes, catfish criminals, and emotional abuse through relationships, showing exactly how these scams begin, escalate, and destroy lives. This channel explores the hidden world of romance scammers, catfish criminals, and emotional predators, breaking down the exact tactics they use to groom victims, create emotional dependency, and carry out long-term deception. If you follow true crime documentaries, romance scam investigations, psychological crime stories, or online dating scam awareness, Heart Swindlers delivers gripping, real-world cases designed to inform, protect, and expose. Each episode is built around real victims, real manipulation, and real consequences, revealing how love becomes a weapon and trust becomes the greatest risk. Subscribe to Heart Swindlers channel for powerful true crime stories where charm meets deception and emotional crime hides behind romance. Unlike quick scams, catfish cases often last months or years, which makes them emotionally devastating and perfect for deep storytelling. Catfish scams succeed because they exploit human needs, not greed. Key psychological tactics include love bombing, intense affection early to create dependency. Mirroring, copying the victim's values, trauma and dreams, emotional withholding, disappearing to increase attachment, crisis creation emergencies that require money or loyalty, future faking promises of marriage, visits, or a shared life. These tactics are what make your stories educational and binge-worthy. The Perfect Stranger introduced the scammer as too good to be true. Attractive photos, polite language, emotional intelligence. He understood her pain before she ever explained it. Daily messages, good mornings, late-night calls. The relationship feels real, even more intimate than real life. A medical emergency, a frozen account, a military clearance fee. This is where money, secrecy, or loyalty is tested. Victim defends the scammer against friends and family. The scammer becomes the emotional center of their life. Photos traced, voice matched, identity exposed. Sometimes the scammer vanishes, sometimes the truth explodes. Shame, trauma, financial loss, emotional grief. This is where Heart Swindler channel builds trust and authority. Real-world catfish scam variations, military romance scams, widowed lover scams, crypto romance scams, pig butchering, long-distance relationship fraud, celebrity impersonation scams. When the person you love never existed, a true crime documentary, every day, millions of people open dating apps looking for connection. Most believe they're talking to a real person, someone with a life, a face, a history. But sometimes, the person on the other side of the screen doesn't exist at all. This is not a story about bad decisions. This is a story about trust, about how online dating can turn into emotional captivity, about catfish scammers who don't just steal money, they steal time, identity, and hope. Online dating was supposed to make love easier, safer, more accessible. It's loneliness in modern life that why people turn to online connections. For many, dating apps become lifelines after divorce, grief, illness, or isolation. They weren't desperate, they were human. Catfish scams begin with a profile designed to disarm suspicion, attractive but not flashy, respectful, emotionally intelligent, often widowed or divorced. Career that explains distance military, engineer, oil rig worker, contractor overseas, explains stolen photos and fake bios. Every word is calculated. Every detail serves a purpose. The first message is never aggressive, it's gentle, thoughtful, disarming, simple message. Hello. I hope this doesn't feel strange. I just wanted to say you seem kind. Explain mass messaging versus personalization. The victim believes they were chosen. In reality, they were selected. This is the heart of the con artist. Catfish scammers don't rush money, they rush intimacy, explain tactics, love bombing, mirroring values and trauma daily communications, emotional availability. The scammer becomes the safest place in the victim's life. No video calls, always traveling, camera issues, poor signal excuses. Each excuse sounds reasonable. Alone, they mean nothing. Together, they mean everything. One of the most dangerous moments in a catfish scam is when the conversation moves off the dating app. Avoid moderation, no reporting, full control. WhatsApp, Telegram, Messenger. Facebook. This is where the scam deepens. Slowly, the catfish becomes the emotional center of the victim's life, replacing friends. Emotional exclusivity, they're jealous. They don't understand us. Psychology insert trauma bonding, intermittent reinforcement, the relationship feels intense because it's engineered to be. The crisis is never sudden. It's introduced gently, common scenarios, medical emergency, frozen account, military leave fee. Business delay. The scammer doesn't ask, they imply. Fear of abandonment. The first payment is rarely large, but it opens the door. After the first payment, the relationship changes. Explain escalation, more emergencies, larger amounts requests for secrecy, emotional pressure. Love becomes conditional, loyalty becomes currency. Multiple victims, scripted conversation. Organized fraud rings. This wasn't love. It was a business model. The truth usually arrives quietly. Explain exposure, reverse image search, bank alert, friend investigates, app ban. The photos belong to someone else. The voice wasn't his. The name never existed. Pause for impact. The money can sometimes be replaced. The emotional damage cannot. Shame, isolation. PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, loss of trust. So many victims grieve as if someone died because to them someone did. Catfish scams don't target stupidity. They target humanity, vulnerability, emotional. Openness, anyone can be a victim under the right circumstances. Real love doesn't hide. It doesn't rush intimacy, and it never asks for secrecy. List warning signs clearly. The most dangerous catfish scam is the one that feels real. Somewhere right now, someone is falling in love with a profile, a photo, a message, and they believe it's real. Awareness doesn't destroy romance. It protects it. This was Online Dating Catfish, a true crime documentary about love, deception, and the cost of trust. Manipulators to exploit emotions and gain control. Soldiers on deployment, widowed and widower engineers or oil rig workers, lonely divorcees or single parents. She met him online on a night when the house was too quiet. No footsteps, no voices, just the glow of her phone and the promise of connection. He said his name was Daniel. He said he was deployed overseas. He said he'd been waiting his whole life to meet someone like her. None of it was true. This is not a story about bad luck. This is a story about emotional engineering, about how trust is built, dismantled, and weaponized. This is a true catfish scam story. Catfish scams don't begin with lies. They begin with vulnerability. Introduce the victim. Age, life, situation, divorce, widowhood, empty nest, illness, grief, emotional state before the scam. She wasn't looking for love. She was looking for someone to talk to. How the platform works, Facebook, dating app, Instagram. Why she accepted the friend request. The first message. Hello. I hope this isn't strange. You just seem kind. He asked questions that felt thoughtful. Catfish scammers don't invent personalities. They copy yours. Red flags, but don't reveal all yet. No video calls, always texting at odd hours, and this act with a tease. By the third month, she trusted him more than anyone else in her life. This is where watch time spikes. He became her routine. Good morning messages, good night prayers, emotional replacement of real relationships. They just don't understand us. Intermittent reinforcement? He didn't ask directly. He was embarrassed. He said he didn't want to burden her. She sent the money believing it was temporary. It wasn't. That payment changed everything. She wasn't his girlfriend. She was a revenue stream. But the shame remained. End with education empowerment. At this point, she still believed he was real, but that was about to change. What she didn't know was that someone else was watching the account. The photo that exposed everything hadn't been found yet. Never resolve a mystery immediately. Always delay clarity. Blurred male photo. Shadowed silhouette. Red circle on fake profile photo. He was fake. 3 years of lies. Obvious scam wording. Catfish stories succeed because they feel personal. They unfold slowly. Viewers see themselves in the victim. I am not just telling stories. I am training intuition. An online dating catfish is a person who creates a fake or stolen identity on dating apps or social media to form a false romantic relationship. Unlike casual fake profiles, catfish scammers invest time, weeks, months, even years. They build emotional bonds. They use relationship for money, control, or exploitation. This is not a prank, it is emotional fraud. Where online dating catfish operate. Most catfish scammers commonly operate on dating apps, Tinder, Bumble, OkCupid, Plenty of Fish. Major red flag. They push to move off the app quickly to avoid moderation. How online dating. Catfish create fake identities. Catfish profiles are carefully designed. Fake profile traits, high-quality photos, often stolen from models, online, soldiers, or influencers. That explains distance military, oil rig, engineer widowed or divorced, creates sympathy. Not into drama, deflects questions, limited friends, or hidden profile history. They often steal photos from Instagram or stock images, bios from real profiles, voice clips from other people. Core manipulation methods, mirroring, copying values, beliefs, trauma. Future faking promises of marriage or visits, crisis engineering emergencies requiring help, gaslighting making the victim doubt reality. These tactics create emotional dependency, not just trust. Common red flags of online dating catfish. Here are real warning signs viewers relate to: instantly refuses video calls or always has excuses, writes overly poetic or scripted messages, avoids answering simple personal questions. Always traveling or about to visit but never does, asks for secrecy, suddenly needs money, gift cards, or crypto. Catfish scammers don't rush, they wait until attachment forms. Why money comes later. Not first, a key difference between catfish and basic scams. The relationship comes first, the request comes later. By the time money is mentioned, the victim feels emotionally invested, leaving feels like losing a partner. Shame prevents outside help. This is why catfish scams are so damaging. How online dating catfish are exposed. Exposure usually happens through reverse image searches, bank account or crypto platform alerts, the scammer suddenly disappearing. Often, victims uncover the truth after severe who catfish scammers target. Most contrary to myth, catfish victims are intelligent, educated, emotionally available, going through life transitions, grief, divorce, illness. Catfish scams exploit timing, not ignorance. Emotional damage. Why online dating? Catfish content performs so well. Strong emotional engagement, heavy comment activity. This happened to me, evergreen discover traffic, trust-building educational value. Most believe they're talking to a real person, someone with a life, a face, a history. But sometimes the person on the other side of the screen doesn't exist at all. This is not a story about bad decisions. This is a story about trust, about how online dating can turn into emotional captivity, about catfish scammers who don't just steal money, they steal time, identity, and hope. For many, dating apps become lifelines after divorce, grief, illness, or isolation. Introduce the victim archetype without blaming. They weren't desperate. They were human. Catfish scams begin with a profile designed to disarm suspicion. Describe typical catfish identity: attractive, but not flashy, respectful, emotionally intelligent, often widowed or divorced. Career that explains distance. Every detail serves a purpose. The first message is never aggressive, it's gentle, thoughtful, disarming. Explain mass messaging versus personalization. The victim believes they were chosen. In reality, they were selected. This is the heart of the documentary. Mirroring values and trauma, daily communication, emotional availability. The scammer becomes the safest place in the victim's life. Introduce subtle red flags. Slowly, the catfish becomes the emotional center of the victim's life. Subtle discouragement of outside voices. The crisis is never sudden. It's introduced gently. Organized fraud rings. This wasn't love. It was a business model. Anyone can be a victim under the right circumstances. Awareness doesn't destroy romance. It protects it. A true crime documentary about love, deception, and the cost of trust. Fake dating profiles are designed to manipulate, not to date. They're built to look believable, feel emotionally safe, and slowly pull people into trust. Here's a clear, practical breakdown. What a fake dating profile usually looks like: photos that feel too perfect. Same face appears across multiple platforms under different names. No casual photos, no friends, no messy rooms, no everyday life. Vague but emotional bio. They avoid specifics but hit emotions hard. Common lines: I'm honest, caring, and looking for true love. I've been hurt before, but still believe in love. I don't like drama, just peace and loyalty. Military deployed overseas. Widowed doctor working with NGOs, businessman trading crypto or gold abroad, saying you're different from everyone else. Claiming fate brought you together. Real relationships take time. Scams skip it. Sometimes they use pre-recorded videos, very short, low-quality calls, someone else pretending to be them. The crisis moment. After trust is built, something goes wrong. Business deal stuck, customs fee, crypto investment opportunity, need money to visit you, they'll say. I hate asking, but you're the only one I trust, that's the hook. Why fake profiles are so effective. They don't target looks or intelligence. They target loneliness, grief, divorce, older adults seeking companionship, people who value emotional connection. Smart, successful people fall for these every day. Quick checklist to spot one. Fast. Ask yourself, are they avoiding real-time video? Do their stories change slightly? Is everything moving unusually fast? Are they always almost able to meet? Has money, crypto, or gift cards come up? Break down real versus fake profile bios side by side. A romance scam happens when someone pretends to want love but is actually building trust to extract. It can last weeks, months, even years. Claims of shared values, faith, or life goals. I deleted my dating app for you. I want to build a future with you. This speed is intentional. Strong emotions reduce critical thinking, casual, spontaneous interactions. After trust is locked in, a problem appears that emotional guilt is the weapon. People healing from loss. They exploit hope, not stupidity. Victim recovery, not just the scam. Just tell me how deep you want to go. I'm honest, caring, and looking for true love. I hate asking, but you're the only one I trust. That's the hook. Romance scams on online dating sites aren't accidents. They're engineered emotional traps. They follow patterns so consistent that once you see them, you can't unsee them. What emotional manipulation in dating really is? Emotional manipulation is when someone uses your feelings as leverage to control your decisions, behavior, or boundaries without using force. They don't demand. They guide you emotionally to do what benefits them. The core emotional manipulation tactics. You're my soulmate in days or weeks, constant messaging, morning to night, future promises before real trust exists. Why it works. Your brain releases dopamine, oxytocin. You bond before you can evaluate your beliefs. You say, I value honesty. They say, honesty is everything to me too. Truth. You're not compatible, you're being reflected. Emotional dependency. Building. They slowly make you feel understood only by them, safer with them than anyone else, less connected to friends or family, common lines. No one understands you like I do. Others are jealous of our love. You start feeling responsible for their happiness. Manipulation phrase, everyone leaves me, please don't be like them. Now you stay not from love, but guilt. Withholding affection. Push-pull. Once you're attached, they change. Withdraw affection. Then suddenly, apologize. Become loving again. This creates emotional addiction. You chase the good version of them. Gaslighting reality control. They deny your feelings or memory. You're imagining things that never happened. You're too sensitive. Over time, you trust them more than yourself. That's the danger. The crisis trigger. In romance scams or toxic dating, are patient, sound, caring, appear vulnerable, avoid obvious aggression. They feel safe until they don't. How to protect yourself. Practical rules. Slow everything down. Manipulators hate time. Watch actions, not words. Set one boundary and see how they react. Healthy people respect. No love doesn't rush, isolate, or confuse. Confusion is not love. Important truth. Emotional manipulation works best on kind people, loyal people, empathetic people, people who love deeply. Those are strengths, not weaknesses. Thanks for listening to my message. My name is Elvis. Please subscribe to my channel.